Right, so in today's video we're going to be doing a review on the SumiSoaker. Now, Garden Imports kindly sent this over to us a few weeks back for a review. So this is going to be my honest, sort of comprehensive review on what it's been like using this SumiSoaker now over the past 3 weeks. So essentially what it is it's a sprinkler for your lawn, but it's a little bit different to some other sprinklers that you might actually have. So the usual kind of things you're going to find in your garden centre are sprinklers like this and sprinklers like this. If we start with this one, it's got basically a little bar there that oscillates, so it passes to and fro. You can set how wide you want the oscillation to be on the actual end over here, and something like this is perfect for like a rectangular lawn or like a square lawn. This one, it spins just when the hose is attached and you turn the water pressure on. And you know, great for a circular lawn. You can use it on square lawns and rectangular lawns, and sometimes if you've got quite a big space, sprinklers like both of these, you do have to move, so you might have to leave it on for 10-15 minutes in one place, move it to another space. With a sprinkler like this, it's a little bit different. So basically it's just like a giant hose that you pull out, and you can now set it to any length you kind of want. You drag it over here and then put a bit of a right angle on it like so, making sure that the SumiSoaker words are sticking upwards. Hang on, there's a little bit of a weed here. Little weed plants, get rid of that little fella, knock him over there. You pull it out, and on the top here where the words are, there's like tiny little perforations along the entire pipe. And what that does is once you plug it into your hose, this fills it with water, and once the entire thing's filled up, it'll create little tiny thin jets of water. Now in terms of how it stands itself apart to the other two kinds of sprinklers, you can see I put a little right angle on this one. The spray pattern's obviously going to be coming out this way on this side, and then it's going to be coming out this way on this side. And plus you can get it with this cool little reel as well, and effectively just reel the thing in, which makes, you know, putting it away nice and easy. It is additional this, so you can buy it as a package, but I'll speak more about that as we get further into the review. So in terms of where you can use the SumiSoaker, it's effectively, you know, anywhere, to be honest. Just, you know, the only limitation you've got is the length of hose that you actually buy. So this small space up at the top, I can pull it out and use it on here. And what's quite useful is when I run it along the centre of this small lawn up here, the SumiSoaker can reach the actual plants at the back and the plants at the front as well. So you can just set the pressure so it's actually watering both of those. And again, like I've just shown, you can actually stretch it along this front lawn too, so it can adapt to the size of a different kind of lawn. I've used it also on this front lawn as well. You can see it's obviously not a rectangle, this one. So when I've used it, I've stretched the SumiSoaker from this end round to this end just to water the space a little bit more easily. And finally, I've got this awkward space at the front as well, this grass verge that stretches all the way along the front there like that. And that's what I'd argue is actually, you know, the best thing about the SumiSoaker is the fact that it can be used in quite awkward spaces. Now, I've got two rectangular lawns at the back, so I can get away with sort of regular sprinklers back here. But a lot of lawns that you see, a lot of lawns that people have aren't just squares or rectangles. They've got more sort of curved shapes to them. Now, something like this, you can use it on a bend. You can wrap it around flower beds. You might have sort of like a flower bed in the centre of a lawn, let's say. You can wrap it around there. And if you have got a massive lawn, you can almost use this basically snaked across the entire space. And that way you can cover your entire lawn without having to put a traditional sprinkler on, and then move it every like 10-15 minutes to make sure, hang on, I thought it was a spider and it's a fly doing me nothing. So rather than using something like this or this oscillating one over here, you can snake it across and water the entire space in one go. Like I said, it's not going to be for everyone. It's not going to be for everyone's, you know, type of lawn. I do want to speak as well about how it actually waters the lawn too, because what surprised me with it really is how fine the mist is that it produces. The best way I can describe it is it's a little bit like rain, but what that is really good for is if you've got like a newly seeded space, let's say, using that to water it with a really fine mist, I can absolutely see the benefits of doing it that way. Now, what else is kind of quite unique as well about the SumiSoaker is the fact that you can cut it to length too. So they kindly sent me about 30 meters of hose, and I cut this piece just as a bit of an example, but it just shows you that you can cut the SumiSoaker to length to actually have bespoke sprinklers for each of your lawns. Now, you might not want to do that. You know, you might want to just use it with the reel instead. Now, you can just buy the hose for this and obviously cut it to size or roll it up whenever you're not using it. or you can spend a little bit more and just buy yourself the actual reel. So it comes like packaged in with some of the SumiSoakers, but you can also get it separately too. But personally, I would honestly go for the reel. It's got like a little pin in it here so it can't, like, you know, unreel itself by accident, which I think is quite useful, so it can store quite easily. I mean, I've literally just been leaving it in the garden next to the hose pipe. Really convenient. You can reel it in when you're done. Jobs are good. Now, another question some people might have is, how do you stop the SumiSoaker from filling the entire hose? So basically what you do is you spool out however much you need, and then what you can do, I mean, there's probably a better clip coming up on screen now or something, but you can just squeeze it there, slide it through the stopper like so. Sorry, it's a little bit wet because I've used it on the grass veg maybe like half an hour ago, and then pull it tight. You don't really need to pull it tight, to be honest. There's this little pin thing here which you think needs to go in there, and it pops out when at first I was having palpitations going, oh, it's not working. It is, trust me, once that fills with water, it creates the seal, so it's fine. And that means then that this piece will obviously fill with water, and no water's going to go through to this piece, so don't worry, it's not all just going to start like shooting out like a big massive jet on the reel going agadoo. I can assure you that you don't need to stress about it. Now, when I did first get this, the only issue I found with the SumiSoaker was this thing. And the reason I thought this was a bit of an issue is around about a week ago, I went to use it on the grass veg and I'd lost where this was. Now, the shelves we've got in our garage are black, and this is obviously black, and the garage is a mess. So when I went in, couldn't find it for the life of me. It took about 10 minutes stressing, thinking I'm gonna have to email them or ask them if I can have another 1 cent or go onto the website to buy one. But I thought it's pretty poor design because there's nowhere for it to kind of go, until I realised this. Now, I don't know if this is in the instructions. I kind of bin them because it's just a soaker hose and you don't need loads of instructions for it. But I didn't really know where to store it, to be honest. But I thought this little thing here, which is used to stop the reel from coming out, if you just slot it through and plonk it through there, then it can't escape, you can't lose it, and anytime you want to use the SumiSoaker, it's always there ready to go. Now, that might be on the website and that might be in the instructions, but it might not be. And if I've pioneered the space to store it, then happy days, bingo, jobs are good. Now, when Garden Imports originally got in touch to ask me to review this product, I said I would do so only if I could give my very honest opinion, and I'll be really honest with you, I think it's superb. Where I find this is most beneficial for me is the grass veg. I came to the conclusion last year that I was not going to water that ever, basically. I was just going to leave it up to nature to do its thing. But it does solve a problem for me, that grass veg. If I was to use this, I mean, that's pointless on the grass veg. No chance that's going to work. And this one, I had to, when I tried watering it originally, I'd have to put it down in one space, leave it on for 10-15 minutes, running back and forth to the hose, you know, to the tap to get the pressure right, but then also getting this right to get the oscillation right, so I wasn't watering the path on the other side of the hedge, or watering just the hedge or the actual road, our side. It was just a little bit of a nightmare. I was getting soaked trying to adjust this. Whereas the SumiSoaker, I just need to stand at the gate, get the pressure right, it takes me around about a minute, and then just leave it to kind of do its thing, and it only actually waters that space. So for me, I think it's superb. One thing I haven't mentioned as well, which I think I probably should, is you can have quite low water pressure when using this. Often when you use the oscillating one, when I've used it in the past on the top tier over there, if I don't turn the tap on a lot, then it doesn't oscillate. There's not enough pressure to actually move the little metal bar that runs through it. And the problem is, if I put it on too much on this space over here, I spend half the time watering the wall and watering the stones down at the bottom. You end up with quite a lot of wastewater, whereas with this, you can set it to be, you know, quite a low setting. So if you are interested in picking one of these up yourself, or if you're just interested in having a look on the website, then there is a link down in the description below. If you follow my link, there is a coupon code as well to get yourself 7% off any of the SumiSoaker range. It comes in loads of different lengths, so you can buy exactly what you need. So yeah, feel free to use that code and that link if you'd like to get one yourself. No pressure to. If you don't get one, no one's going to die. I don't want you to feel pressured into getting it. And if you do opt to go for the SumiSoaker, then feel free to get into the comments below and put your own sort of mini reviews or comments on the things you like about it, what you found useful, any tips you've got for using it, just so anyone who watches this in the future gets sort of a more rounded view as to how this product works and what people's overall thoughts are of it. So thanks for watching today's video. If you enjoyed it, feel free to give it a like, and if you'd like to watch the rest of my gardening videos, I've got loads of videos on the go at the moment, such as, you know, the updates on this space, a bent fescue lawn that we seeded from scratch. Got a lawn up at the top, which is bent fescue turf that we rolled out recently, and they're both looking absolutely superb. So if you are interested, feel free to subscribe. And finally, thanks for watching.